We went and bought it yesterday, so I have it up. I have it put together. Now, the rest of the area is not exactly the way I want it right yet. I'm going to be working on that in a little bit. But I wanted to make sure that you got to see the crib good before I did all that and tried to make a video with the babies in the crib. So I'm showing you my 1950s, well, they said 1950s. I really think it was more like in the 1970s. This is the crib that was so much like the crib that I had for my daughter Elizabeth and 5 babies, 4 babies after her. Anyway, it's just beautiful and just such wonderful condition for being the age that it is. The paint is gorgeous. The little balls there on top, they have a little wear to them, but not much. And then on the top too, there's some little stains there that we've tried with all kinds of different things to get those out, but they're not coming out right now, so we may have to think of something else, a little paint, or if we can get the same paint, but otherwise it's all right. But there's the little lamb, which for that time was so popular to have these little type of decals on baby furniture, high chairs, cribs. And this one's a little different because, as you can see, it's not a water slide or a decal. It's actually a painted wood applique design there. And then, of course, a little paint for the grass. But it's just in such fantastic condition. It had all the wheels to it. And it is a Simmons, and that was the crib that I had, that my parents had bought me. And they were expensive back in the day then, because they were so well built. But you know, so that's why it has stayed so well. And then this is part of the Winnie the Pooh layette, or not layette, but crib bedding. And I just put this over this because this part was a little bit worn. And you know, the lady that sold this to me, she said, "Oh, don't cover up those baby teeth marks." It was little teeth marks made by the baby, or maybe babies, that used this crib, you know, as they stood up and gnawed on the wood. I thought that was really pretty cute too. And then I'm going to try to, then I'll turn around here, and there's the bedding, and there's and I ironed this. It kind of doesn't look like it, but it's the classic Pooh bumper. And it's one of those bumpers that goes all the way. It has the end panel that goes all the way up here. And I'm going to move these guys a little bit just to show you that they're more baby teeth marks. Well, you can't really see it, but there is a little lamb decal behind this little head bumper. And it has the sheet. We've got Gabby in there in her pajamas. I just kind of put her in there last night. And then here's a little pillow that I made for my nursery and for the crib. It has that little vintage lamb that I embroidered on the pillow that goes with the theme, the retro. And let's see, and then the bedding came with this nice quilt. It's a very nice quilt. And of course I have my classic Pooh Eeyore and Pooh from Gund, and 2 more are coming, Piglet and Tigger. They need to be here. And then here is the this is the little coverlet. And let's see what else we've got in here. And this is from this side, which I think looks really nice. And then that little lamb in the corner, that is so cute because when we went in the shop, the shop is great. It took us 3 hours to get there, which normally it would take us maybe an hour and a half. That's what my GPS said. But it took us twice that long because on the freeway going down there, it was bumper-to-bumper traffic because of construction going on in the freeway. Well, my daughter was just, we were fit to be tied by the time we got there. And my friend that was meeting us for lunch, she was waiting out in front for us. And I felt terrible that, you know, she'd been there for an hour, but she did have a good chance to look at the store. And the area it was in was really cute. And when we went in, this little lamb was sitting on one of the dressers that they had on display for sale. And Elizabeth felt, she says, you need this lamb to go with your crib. And I thought, oh yeah, I did. But right next to that was this old vintage oak wood baby high chair that was like the high chair I had as a baby, and it had the retro lamb or whatever it is decal that was kind of scraping off. And I had been looking at those because I had wanted one because I want to refinish it, and I thought that would just be so neat to go along with my crib. Well, I just went crazy and I said, how much is this? And she said $55. And I thought, well, that's a pretty good deal. It didn't have the tray, though. And I thought, I don't really care because I would just be sitting Sally, my toddler, in it. And, but then by the time I got out of the, we went to lunch across the street. We came back and we loaded up the crib into my daughter's SUV and had a good visit and with my friend. And by the way, she loved Charlotte, and so that was really neat. And the lady says, well, don't you want to take home this high chair? And I thought, you know what, I have just spent so much money. No, I'm not going to do that. And she said, well, hey, I'll sell it to you for $20. I said, sold. I couldn't resist. So I went in, paid it, came out, and I'll show it to you in another video. But it's really, really neat, and I am going to redo it, and I'm going to paint it the same color as this crib. So, so then I was putting in the back of Elizabeth's car, and she says, well, Mom, why didn't you get that lamb? And I said, you know what? I have just, no, I can't buy any more stuff. And so I was out there saying goodbye to my friend and everything. She walks out. She had gone back in and bought the lamb. And it was perfect. It needed to be in here, and it reminded us of the day that we had. And it was, in spite of the horrible traffic, it was just a lot of fun. So I came back home, and my husband, he's always so supportive. We cleaned it up. Didn't have to do much, just got, you know, some dirt off of it and dust and that type of thing. We cleaned it all up and we put it together, and then he left me to put my bedding together myself because I was just so excited. And so here, this is it. And I'm going to be doing a video, I hope a little bit later this afternoon, again with all the kids in it. But I do need to organize a few little things in here. Anyway, but before I sign off, I did want to show you, this is the back. You know, it has a little different design on the back than the front. I mean, as far as the front piece, this part goes. But it also has that little lamb that is so cute, which, I mean, you'd think it was made yesterday. There's not a nick, not a scratch, nothing on it. And this is one of those drop cribs, too, you know, that they don't sell anymore because somehow it's dangerous to the babies, even though I had them for, you know, I was raised in a drop crib. All my kids didn't have a problem, but apparently there is a problem. But it is nice because it does go up and down quite easily, and we're going to try to do this with one hand. Yeah, see? Just goes down, and you can pull it up. And of course, this, I had my husband put the mattress, the spring up on the highest level, so it'd be easy for me to get in here. And oh, the best part of this whole story about this crib is this: when I bought it off of Etsy, it had been up there not just 24 hours, and I found it and I bought it right away. And there's the little crib skirt that came with it. If you can see it good, I hope. It has the little gingham checks. They're brown, light brown, and it goes with the ribbing on the bumper and all the ruffles around the edges of the headpiece for the bumper, and also the quilt. So anyway, and then I bought it, and she said it was meant to be that I got this crib because right after I purchased this crib, Etsy called her and said, you can't sell that crib on Etsy because it doesn't meet the qualifications, the safety standards anymore, because it's a drop crib. So it's a drop rail crib. And she said, well, that's okay, I'll take it down. And she took it down because I had paid her on 3 payments for the crib. So she didn't really actually sell it through Etsy anyway. But had I lollygagged around, she said even 20 minutes, I would not have known about the crib. So I really do feel like it was meant to be. Anyway, there's my gorgeous crib, ladies, that you've been waiting to see, that I've been waiting to have in here. And I will be back, hopefully, in just a few hours with another quick little video of the kids in the crib. Thank you. Bye.